Forget New Year, New You. This season is about slowing down, locking the doors, and cozying up at home with the one you really want to do nothing with. Your dog. After the holiday chaos, those quiet nights with a blanket, a podcast, and your pup feel like the reset you actually need. Ollie helps make those moments easier with fresh protein-packed meals made from real human-grade ingredients, so your dog can enjoy some quality comfort food too. Choose from 5 recipes and get a personalized plan for your dog's needs. Meals arrive perfectly proportioned with a scoop and storage container, so serving is fast and mess-free. And with Ollie's in-app on-demand health screenings, supporting your dog is easy, ensuring more cuddles for many years to come. Visit ollie.com/truecrime and use code TRUECRIME for 60% off your first box.
Hey everyone, today I'm doing a special bonus episode about Donna Adelson's sentencing hearing. Now, I wasn't planning on covering it because, to be honest, I expected it to be pretty straightforward. Dan Markel's family already gave their victim impact statements after the verdict. Donna was pretty much guaranteed to get life in prison, and I didn't expect her to say much, if anything, at the hearing. But as I was watching it myself, I found my mouth dropping open multiple times. So I figured I'd pull out what I thought were the most interesting parts and get it out to you guys ASAP. So, hope you enjoy. This is Jillian, and you are listening to Court Junkie. Cooler days mean I get to wear my favorite navy blue puffer jacket that I get compliments on practically every time I wear it. I got it from Quince, my go-to for quality essentials that feel cozy, look refined, and won't blow your budget. Like $50 Mongolian cashmere, premium denim that's actually comfortable, and luxe outerwear you'll wear year after year. These are some of the pieces that'll turn into your fall staples. That puffer jacket I just mentioned, it's a featherless, quilted long jacket that I wear constantly, during school pickup, out to dinner, and sometimes even just sitting by the campfire in my own backyard. And best of all, I got it for just $99, which, for how luxurious it feels and looks, I would expect it to cost a lot more. But because Quince partners directly with top-tier ethical factories, they cut out the middlemen and deliver luxury quality pieces at half the price of similar brands. Find your fall staples at Quince. Go to quince.com/court for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/court to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/court. At Donna Adelson's sentencing hearing, prosecutor Georgia Kappelman told the judge that they were requesting life in prison on count 1, 30 years consecutive to count 1 for count 2, and 30 years concurrent with count 2 but consecutive to count 1. Prosecutor Kappelman told the court that she has no additional testimony or evidence to provide. Donna's team called multiple witnesses to testify. Dr. Ben Graber went first. Dr. Graber has been a friend of the Adelson family since 1979. He said the first 20 years they were active friends, but in the last 20, he hadn't seen them as much until the trials started. He said he's been a medical doctor for 45 years and was also a state legislator from 1988 to 1996. He was also a professor at the University of Florida Medical School. Dr. Graber spoke directly to Donna and said he wanted her to know that she has friends and that he's there for her. He said he's sorry they never got to go to dinner after her trial ended. He told the judge he never thought he would be in this situation when he first met the Adelsons, that it's a total shock to him and to their families. He said it's a tragedy that he has to be there to talk about it. He feels bad for the Adelson family and the Markel family. He said he believes that Donna is a victim of not just circumstance, but that she has been exploited by the parties involved in this case, including by her son, Charlie.
Knowing Donna, who was the youngest child in her family, knowing her mother, how close she was with her mother, and understanding their love and need for family, it makes no sense to me that she would pursue an activity that will destroy two families like it has. However, having known her son and some of his issues, I believe Donna, in her own naive way, trying to be a loving mother, subdued by guilt, by silence, by denial, and perhaps even active exploitation, and used for activities she had no part of. So I believe she's innocent on all three counts, even though she was found guilty on all three counts.
He said he wrote many of the sentencing guidelines as a legislator and participated in passing them. He told the judge he gets calls from judges periodically asking him about the intent of a law he wrote. He said he believes life without parole is a very harsh sentence, and that the intent of it was not to punish domestic cases, but for organized crime and those who are dangerous to the public. He said it's been switched over to be used in conspiracy theories against the average citizen.
I think that it's unfortunate that this case has gone into so many new victims. And we've already, you have 4 victims who have been found guilty of murder. 2 have committed the murder, maybe 1. The others are conspiracy theories. And I would believe that I would suggest that needs to be reviewed by the legislature. That's my opinion. Now, in this case,
Dr. Draper, before you continue, is this being offered as character? Because he is not an expert on the law.
It's character, Judge.
Very well. You may continue, Doctor.
Yes, that's my opinion from my background. It's not. I'm not giving a professional opinion. I'm giving my personal opinion from experience. What I'm asking the court today is, to me, the judicial system, the power of the judicial system is in the judge. And it is the judge who is the presenter of a safety net for the public to show some compassion when the cold written law, with every box checked off, shows no compassion. Where does the compassion come from? It should come from the judge. It should come from the jury. And I think that that's something we have to consider.
He said sometimes bad things happen to good people, and that this is one of those things. He said he would beg the families to think about the 2 boys, Wendy and Dan's sons. It's time for some compassion, understanding, and forgiving, to let everyone heal from this process, he said. Rick Shagrin had testified on Donna's behalf at trial. He also gave a statement to Judge Everett at her sentencing hearing. He called Donna a dear friend and travel companion and said they are still in shock at the circumstances. He said she's a loving parent and grandparent and that they stand behind her claims of innocence.
We feel the trial was held in a county where there's been a lot of bad and inaccurate negative publicity, therefore not allowing a fair trial. We contend if a change of venue was granted, she would have been found not guilty. We are hopeful she will be relocated to South Florida, where she can pursue all legal remedies available. Thank you very much for your consideration.
Donna's attorney, Jackie Fulford, also submitted some letters to the court from Ann Cunningham and Ron Gutterson, friends of Donna's who also testified on her behalf at her trial.
They say we are writing this letter to restate our knowledge and feelings regarding Donna Adelson. We have known Donna since 2009 and consider her to be our dearest friend. Donna is a kind, caring, loving person. She was always concerned with the welfare of others. She is not the monster portrayed by the media. Donna is incapable of threatening or harming anyone. Donna is almost 76 years old and in frail health after almost 2 years of incarceration. We will always believe her to be innocent and ask the court to take these factors into consideration when deciding Donna's sentence.
Another friend, Ruth Rosenberg, wrote a letter recalling how when she first came to the United States in 7th grade, not knowing any English, how Donna befriended her and asked if she would like to join her and her friends. She said they've been friends ever since then, now for 62 years. She said over time they became like sisters. Donna helped her find jobs. She was the maid of honor at Donna and Harvey's wedding, and they've remained close friends throughout the years, even though they lived thousands of miles away.
Donna has always been a kind-hearted, generous, loving, and caring. She is one of my best friends, and I will forever remember and appreciate how she helped me with English while I helped her with math in Parsons Junior High School and remained loyal through these 62 plus years. The situation she is in today is unimaginable to me. That is not the person I know and love.
Another friend wrote that Donna was kind and empathetic. They said they believe that Donna can still contribute to society even under these circumstances, saying she's capable of reflection and growth. Another friend, an attorney named Gary Cohen, wrote that they had never heard anyone say anything bad about Donna, that she's an amazing mother, and that she and Harvey have the most loving marriage anyone could imagine.
While I cannot comment on any of the facts of this case or any of the alleged events, I can say that the Donna I know is the last person I would ever think of when it comes to what has been this utterly horrible crime, dealing with the death of Dan Markel. Being a trial lawyer for 45 years, I fully believe in the jury system and understand that a jury has spoken. However, the woman I've known so well for so long also needs to be understood as the wonderful wife, mother, grandmother, and friend that she has been known to me. I only hope that this information can be of use to the court when it comes to the sentencing of Donna Adelson. Gary Cohen.
And then, after the letters, Donna's husband, Harvey Adelson, went up to the podium to speak.
Thank you, Judge, and respected officers of the court for allowing me to speak. I have been Donna Adelson's husband for over 50 years. My wife sacrificed everything so that she could pour her heart and soul into our children, our grandchildren, and our marriage. This summer was our 54th wedding anniversary, and I had to spend it without her, hand in mind. She has done nothing wrong, and yet is being punished for a crime that she did not commit. I thought we lived in a different kind of world, but I guess I was wrong. I have listened, watched, and sat in the courtroom for the entire trial, and I could not help but scream in my mind by the witnesses that were brought forward by the prosecution who told outright lies. I didn't know that you could lie in a courtroom, but apparently you can. Danny's parents contend that they have never seen their grandchild. But for years they say they've never seen her. But Wendy has shared with me pictures and videos and letters from their visits. They have suffered immensely at the loss of their son, but they also contend to tell lies to the court about our grandchildren. Donna has always been a loving and caring wife and is innocent of the charges. A biased judge and jury were influenced by years of one-sided news pieces and social media.
Dr. Ms. Fulford, this has nothing to do with the character of the defendant or relates to sentencing.
May I have just one moment, please?
Go ahead.
Donna's attorney took Harvey's speech and brought it over to the defense table to confer with her co-counsel, Josh Salmon. After about a minute and a half, she returned the paper to Harvey and directed him where he could continue.
All right, thank you for letting me continue. Donna did not participate in the heinous acts that she was convicted of doing. You are sending an innocent woman to prison. You have taken my wife and you have taken my life as well. And for what? This is not justice. It is vengeance, and it is wrong.
Jackie Fulford then told the judge that they had no further witnesses, but that Donna had decided she wanted to make an unsworn statement to the court. Donna remained seated as she spoke. She started by saying her son-in-law, Dan Markel, was a fine and decent man.
Thank you for letting me speak. My son-in-law, Dan Markel, was a fine and decent man. He was well-educated and passionate about his career. He was a good son-in-law, but more importantly, he was a caring and loving father. On July 18th, 2014. His car was followed, leaving his home. It should have been just like any other day, an ordinary day in the life of Ben and Lincoln's father, but it wasn't. He didn't know when he left his boys off at daycare that would be the last time he would see them and the last time they would see him. He didn't know when he went to the gym afterwards that would be the last time he would exercise. And he didn't know when he drove home that his life would end within minutes. Danny wasn't just being followed, he was being hunted. He was brutally murdered in broad daylight, sitting in his car, in his garage, by vicious killers. I cannot imagine the terror he felt when he saw a gun pointed at him through the window of his car. I cannot conceive of his heroic efforts to stay alive during the hours after the attack. Danny died in the early morning hours of July 19th. His death is a loss to his children, his parents, his sister, all of us in his family, his friends, his colleagues in the legal community, and to his students at FSU Law School. Danny's boys each have a photo of themselves with their Abba, their dad, beside their beds. They grew up kissing the framed photo and saying, "Good night, Abba, I love you." But pictures and memories are all they have because cruel, cold-hearted people took him from all of us who loved him. My heart was broken when Danny died. My grandsons were going to grow up without the father who loved them. I wondered, how could we help these boys through this trauma? It was then that my husband and I knew that the best way to honor Danny's memory would be to share with these children an abundance of love, the love that Danny would have given them if he were alive. It is interesting how the state can't make up its mind about who is what they call the, quote, mastermind behind this murder. In both of Catherine Magbanaw's trials, the state claimed she was the mastermind behind Danny's murder. In my son Charlie Adelson's trial, they claimed he was the mastermind. And now in my trial, they claimed that I, this grandma, was the mastermind behind the murder. I had no idea that other people planned to cut Danny's life short. And the people who did this are exactly where they deserve to be. But I had no knowledge that this horrible, evil act was going to take place. If I had become aware of this plan before Danny was murdered, I would have stopped it. With not one iota of actual evidence, the state convinced a Tallahassee jury that I solicited and conspired with other people to have Danny killed. Where is the evidence prior to the murder? The evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that the state needed to prove their case. Where is the evidence before July 18th, 2014 at 10:50 in the morning?
Before you continue, Mrs. Adelson, as it relates to this statement, is the defense trying to re-argue the trial?
No, Judge, just giving Adelson an opportunity to be heard.
Mrs. Adelson, you certainly can continue. However, the court can take into consideration the utter lack of remorse that you are displaying. Please proceed if you desire to do so.
Donna paused for a couple seconds and then continued.
Where is the evidence before July 18th, 2014 at 10:50 a.m. that revealed that I had any involvement in this vile and horrific act? Where is the solicitation and conspiracy evidence? The state needed to show that there was evidence before the murder to convict me. The state couldn't show that because there wasn't any evidence. They were trying an innocent person. It makes you wonder if the jurors were sleeping when the state had Sergeant Corbett on the stand for hours. Their own star witness testified that my phone was never, I repeat, never at my son's house on the night of the murder. The state's theory that my husband and I dropped off money to my son was blown out of the water by their own witness. And yet, the state continued to push that story, that lie of the so-called money drop, to the jury through the remainder of the trial. And the jury bought into it, hook, line, and sinker. Reasonable doubt. Many months ago, my attorneys filed a motion for a change of venue. An expert witness testified that Tallahassee had been barraged with over 9 years of negative social media, printed news, television news, and podcast publicity about my family. He explained to the court, both with evidence and demonstratives, that for me to receive a fair trial, it needed to be held in any of the researched and designated areas in the state of Florida other than Tallahassee. All I wanted was a level playing field, but the court wanted the trial here in the hotbed of Tallahassee. I sat through 3 days of jury selection. 180 potential jurors were asked if they had developed an opinion in my case. Those that answered yes also added, I believe she is guilty. Not one person, not one, said, I think she may be innocent. That should have been a clue to the court to grant our motion for a change of venue, but the court denied the motion. One of my jurors admitted during jury selection that she had background information concerning what one of the state's witnesses would be testifying about. Why was she allowed to be on my jury?
What moment?
Another juror.
Mrs. Fulford, Mr. Zellman, again, this has nothing to do with elocution of any sort. This is a raising of grievances, which are properly given to the appellate court. What does any of this have to do with sentencing?
Just one moment, please.
The fall fashion season is my absolute favorite. That's when we can rock our long boots, tights, sweaters, layers, and just basically be comfortable. But if your bra is not part of your comfort, then it's definitely time to change that. I've said it a million times. I'm typically not a fan of an underwire bra, especially ones that you can feel poking you throughout the day. That's where Honey Love comes in. Honey Love makes the best wireless bras that feel like a second skin. Lightweight, breathable, and designed to work with your body and not against it. I have a bigger chest, and oftentimes with wireless bras, sure, they're comfortable, but I have a hard time getting the right amount of support, whether I'm hanging around my house in a t-shirt and jeans or wearing a nice dress out to dinner. But with Honey Love, I get the support I need. So how does Honey Love do that? Well, Honey Love's signature support actually comes from their smart design, not wires or bulky padding. It's all the shape and hold you want without any of the stuff you don't. Honey Love's best-selling crossover bra, for example, is so comfortable you'll want to wear it every day. And if you're tired of bras that cause bulging in the back, Honey Love's bras are designed with back-smoothing fabric to prevent bra bulge. And Honey Love isn't just about bras. They've got shapewear, tanks, and leggings that are just as comfortable and supportive. Treat yourself to the most comfortable and innovative bras on earth and save 20% off site-wide at honeylove.com/court. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off. honeylove.com/court. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show, Court Junkie, and tell them we sent you. Experience the new standard in bras with Honey Love. That's honeylove.com/court. I have to say I have settled into fall quite nicely, swapping out the long summer nights with cool, cozy evenings. And there's nothing quite like the feeling of having the windows slightly open, letting the crisp, cool air in, while climbing into bed with the softest, most extraordinary bedding, thanks to Boll & Branch. Boll & Branch's signature sheets are the perfect way to start building your sanctuary of comfort, made with the highest quality 100% organic cotton. And not only are they comfortable, but they get softer with each and every wash, not pilled and worn, which is something that I had experienced before with my old sheets. The difference in quality and even my sleep patterns since using Boll & Branch is really night and day, pardon the pun. They're also breathable to sleep in, so you can add more layers as the weather gets colder, and your bed won't feel heavy or hot. Best of all, they come with a 30-night worry-free guarantee, so you really have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Start building your sanctuary of comfort this fall with Boll & Branch. For a limited time, get 20% off your first set of sheets plus free shipping at bollandbranch.com/court. That's Boll & Branch, BOLLAND, branch.com/court to save 20% and unlock free shipping. Exclusions apply. After a few minutes of her attorneys looking over her statement, Donna continued again.
What happened to Danny is unforgivable. But I am an innocent woman convicted of this terrible crime without evidence. Danny was a brilliant legal scholar. He would have been appalled at the total lack of justice that went on during my trial. He would have been embarrassed to have his name associated with any of it. There are two crimes here. The first was Danny being viciously murdered. The second one is taking my life, the life of an innocent woman. Convicting me should not be retribution for Danny's death. That is not justice for Dan. I've always respected the law. I've never gotten a parking ticket, but I'm going to prison for a murder I did not commit. I do intend to file an appeal so that hopefully I have the opportunity to be given a fair trial outside of Tallahassee. 11 years ago, Danny was murdered and taken from all of us who loved him. For the past 9.5 years, the state has broadcast to the world, including Danny's parents and sister, that I hired hitmen to kill him. Never in a million years would I have wanted Danny to be harmed or killed, nor could I ever do something that would leave these two small boys to grow up without him. I love these boys more than life itself. This is a lifetime of loss for these children. They didn't deserve this. His family didn't deserve this. Danny didn't deserve this. And so, as I appear before you today, Your Honor, I promise you with my whole heart, I swear to you on my life, I was not involved in any way with Danny's murder. I was not.
After Donna was finished, Jackie Fulford said they're aware that Judge Everett has no choice but to sentence Donna to life in prison for count 1, but they requested a downward departure for counts 2 and 3.
The grounds are, one is non-statutory, and that's disparity in the treatment between co-defendants. And the second reason is statutory, and it is Florida Statute 921.00262B. The defendant was an accomplice to the offense and was a relatively minor participant in the criminal conduct.
She told the judge that for her argument, she wanted to focus exclusively on Luis Rivera, pointing to him as someone who will only technically serve 7 years for his role in the murder, even though he purchased the gun, drove the car, and watched as it happened.
The point here is, Judge, that over time, reading different things, you've heard a lot of arguments about what Mrs. Adelson's participation allegedly was. But when it comes down to it, and I didn't mention, but Luis Rivera did have an extensive criminal history at the time that he committed this offense. What actually came out at trial with respect to Mrs. Adelson, and I'm saying this, understanding, as you've learned, that Mrs. Adelson still maintains that she is innocent of this conduct. But what the state was able to show through their testimony and evidence was that the role that she played, according to them in the prosecution, was very minimal. The evidence showed that she was very upset when relocation was denied in 2013, not knowing that her daughter had agreed to it, not knowing that until she sat here in trial hearing her daughter's testimony. She wrote some very ugly emails. She said some very ugly things. But in not one of those emails did it ever say that she wished harm upon Danny Markel. Up until the point of the homicide, the only evidence that was presented about Mrs. Adelson's participation were those ugly emails. And there's a distinction, as we discussed during the trial and sometimes even at sidebar, of the evidence being up to the moment that Mr. Markel was killed. Up to that time, the only evidence introduced by the state in this trial for that time period were those ugly emails, and they were ugly. She called him very foul names. She said some ugly language. She clearly was not happy. And whatever conversations may have taken place while Catherine McBanawa was inside Charlie Adelson's home and Charlie was outside talking to another person. Mrs. Adelson maintains her innocence. But if you're looking at this particular cause of this disparity in treatment, the state is asking that Mrs. Adelson be sentenced to obviously life on count 1 as she has to be, followed by 30 years in the Department of Corrections on counts 2 and 3. This is far in excess of the sentence that was received by the man who himself testified to hunting down Danny Markel, providing the gun for him to be murdered with, leaving the scene of the crime, disposing of the murder weapon, and going on with his life in his gang as he always had.
Judge Everett responded that the key difference is that Luis Rivera entered into a plea.
That's correct. He did enter into a plea, but that, according to the case law, that can be considered.
And he has also cooperated with the state, testifying in many trials.
He was a cooperating witness testifying in these trials. Mrs. Adelson not only has maintained her innocence, she was never offered anything from the state.
Fulford then spoke about Katie's role and her sentence, which was also life in prison followed by 30 years.
Again, the same sentence that they're asking for on Mrs. Adelson is the sentence that this woman who heard the request for a homicide, found the person to commit the homicide, stayed in communication with both of the individuals who are responsible for killing Danny Markel, followed up with them and provided payment to them, and then took payment back from them for her to keep for herself. She was also paid in this. She participated, knew it was happening. They had proof that she knew it was happening. That was submitted to the court. All of that evidence clearly distinguishable from the conduct that they presented in evidence about what Donna Adelson did.
She asked that Judge Everett sentence Donna to 3 years to run concurrently for counts 2 and 3. She said there's 701 days that Donna has already served.
Anything more on counts 2 and 3, Judge, first of all, in order for it to assist Mrs. Adelson, she's going to have to be successful on count 1 on appeal. If she is, anything more than that period of time is going to basically be a death sentence for Mrs. Adelson. She is soon to be 76 years old. Her health has gotten worse while incarcerated, as anyone would probably expect. Her husband is 81 years old. Compared 3 years compared to the man who participated in the killing getting 7 years, I believe is a just and reasonable sentence for Mrs. Adelson. We are also going to ask, Your Honor, after imposing sentence, I know it's nothing but a recommendation, but we would ask if you make a recommendation to the Florida Department of Corrections that Mrs. Adelson be placed as close to Miami as possible, where her husband resides, so that she can have visitation. I understand we don't have any control over Department of Corrections, but we would appreciate that recommendation.
Prosecutor Kappelman said she's fine with the recommendation as long as Donna wouldn't be housed at the same facility as Catherine Magbanawa. In the end, Judge Everett declined to lessen Donna's sentence.
The level of planning and coordination to bring the murder of Professor Markel to fruition was significant in this case. These were not crimes of chance or opportunity, and these crimes also required you to conspire with your son and others. You certainly can choose to deny your involvement and maintain innocence. The court finds the evidence in this case is clear. You will be sentenced accordingly this afternoon. The jury has found you guilty on charges of first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and solicitation to commit first-degree murder, and the court previously adjudicated you guilty as to these same charges on September 4th of this year. On count one of the indictment for first-degree murder, you are hereby sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole or release pursuant to sections 782.04 and 775.082 sub 1 sub a Florida statutes. On count two of the indictment, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, you are hereby sentenced to 30 years in the Department of Corrections that will run consecutive to count one. The court will also sentence you to 30 years in the Department of Corrections on count three. Counts 2 and 3 are to run concurrent with each other, but consecutive to count one.
According to WCTV, Donna has already left the Leon County Jail and is now a part of the Florida Department of Corrections. And that's all for this bonus episode. Thanks again for listening. Until next time.
Let's be honest. Buying cannabis shouldn't be complicated, sketchy, or low quality. That's why I want to tell you about Mood.com. That's MOOD.com. Mood ships federally legal cannabis straight to your door. No medical card, no hassle. And here's the kicker. The quality is better than anything you'll find at your local dispensary. Yeah, I said it. Whether you're into edibles, concentrates, flower, or just looking to explore, you'll find it all at Mood. And it's not just the variety that makes them stand out. Every product is sourced from small American-owned family farms that care deeply about what they grow. It's cannabis you can trust, delivered discreetly, and ready to elevate your mood. And because you're a listener, you get 20% off your first order. Just head to Mood.com, that's MOOD.com, to get started.